Fire at Jalan Gasing EPF building. Police to request inquest on schoolgirl's death. A very good evening. Welcome to the evening edition of News on 2. You with me, Renee Fong. A part of the 6-story Employees Provident Fund EPF building on Jalan Gasing near the Federal Highway went up in flames this afternoon. However, according to the Fire and Rescue Department, no casualties were reported. The blaze had caused bad traffic congestion on both the Federal Highway and Jalan Gasing, while police had cordoned off the road leading to Jalan Gasing to assist the fire and rescue team with firefighting efforts. Fire damage appeared severe and extensive, with the entire exterior of the building showing signs of heavy scorching. Fire and Rescue Department Deputy Director General of Operations, Datuk Soiman Jahid, when met at the location, said the cause of the fire was believed to have started from the outside of the building where maintenance works were being conducted.
Sebenarnya punca kebakaran adalah disebabkan penyelenggaraan dan dia sparking ini terkena pada cladding berkenaan. Apabila sparking ini sebabkan material ini mudah terbakar dan mudah merebak, dan keadaan cuaca yang panas, angin yang kuat, kemerebakan cepat berlaku di sekeliling bangunan berkenaan. Tapi nasib baik tiada isi bangunan, tiada kemalangan jiwa berlaku di bangunan KWSP ini.
It was believed that almost 40% of the building had been destroyed by the fire. According to a preliminary report of the Selangor Fire and Rescue Department, it was alerted to the fire at 11:53 a.m. and the firefighters reached the scene at 11:58 a.m. A total of 43 firefighters, including 3 officers, were engaged in fighting the blaze. They had come from the fire stations in Section 7, Petaling Jaya, Damansara, Port Klang, Jalan Hang Tuah and Pantai. Meanwhile, the Employees Provident Fund EPF assures stakeholders that the fire at its Jalan Gasing branch has in no way compromised the integrity of data or its members' savings. In a statement following the fire, EPF also said they were working closely with the Fire and Rescue Department to ensure the fire was contained. The statement added that total evacuation of the building has been taken and office and counter services will be closed until further notice for the safety of customers and staff. EPF also urged members and employers wishing to perform any transactions to contact or visit the nearest branch to do so. For further information, contributors can contact EPF at 03-8922-6000 or through the EPF website www.kwsp.gov.my. The fire, which broke out at around 11 a.m., had been contained with the Fire and Rescue Department, who said up to 40% of the building had been destroyed. Pulau Pinang OCPD Dato' A. Taivigan has confirmed that the police will send a request for an inquest to the Attorney General's office into the death of 14-year-old schoolgirl Ava Santa Priya. Speaking to reporters after launching Ops Selamat 2018 in conjunction with Chinese New Year at the Juru Tol Plaza today, Dato' Taivigan also urged the public to cease unverified speculations that might jeopardize the case investigations.
Kita telah memohon untuk membuat satu inquest di mahkamah terbuka. Jadi apabila inquest ini kalau dipersetujui oleh pejabat peguam negara, jadi kita akan menemui kebenaran.
The Form 2 student of SMK Methodist Nibong Tebal was found unconscious on January 24th following a suicide attempt and was comatose in the intensive care unit of the Seberang Jaya Hospital before she passed away on February 1st. Earlier, Ava Santa Priya was accused of stealing her teacher's mobile phone. A senior citizen was remanded for 3 days in connection with the death of an Indonesian maid yesterday. Bukit Mertajam Magistrates Court Registrar Nur Hapipah issued the remand order today for the 60-year-old who was detained in Georgetown, Pulau Pinang last night. Her arrest comes on the heels of her two children aged 36 and 39 who are being remanded until February 14th to assist in investigations. 28-year-old Indonesian national Adelina Lisio suffered severe injuries, including cuts and bruises, died at the Bukit Mertajam Hospital, and her body was sent to Seberang Jaya Hospital for a post-mortem. The procedure, carried out by Dr. Amir Saad Abdul Rahim, a forensic pathologist at the Seberang Jaya Hospital mortuary, identified the cause of death as multi-organ failure secondary to anemia. The case is being investigated under Section 302 of the Penal Code for murder. The Malaysian Border Security Agency AXAM in Perlis has successfully busted a group of smugglers and seized 24,374 cartons of contraband cigarettes and 1,814 cartons of liquor with a total value of 7.08 million ringgit. 5 Bangladesh nationals and a local aged between 20 to 64 were also arrested in the raid at Permatang Pau, Pulau Pinang. Speaking to reporters, Padang Besar AXAM Commander ASP Bahari Ahmad said all the seized items were seized from a warehouse.
Anggota AXAM Perlis telah membuat serbuan di sebuah gudang di Permatang Pau, Pulau Pinang dan telah berjaya membuat rampasan sejumlah rokok dan juga minuman keras bernilai 30.6 juta ringgit dan minuman keras bernilai 3.48 juta ringgit dengan keseluruhan rampasan bernilai 7.08 juta ringgit lah.
ASP Bahari added that 6 lorries believed to be used for transporting the goods were also seized during the raid. The case is being investigated under Section 135, Subsection 1, Subsection D of the Customs Act 1967. Pulau Pinang Marine Police successfully seized various types of firecrackers and contraband cigarettes worth 130,000 ringgit during a raid in Butterworth. According to Commander ACP Rosman Ismail, the raid was conducted based on public tip-offs. The raid was carried out by a team of Pulau Pinang Marine Police at a shop house in Pangsapuri Emas, Jalan Raja Uda, Butterworth at 4:30 p.m. yesterday. Amongst the items seized were several boxes and packages placed at the back end of the premises and a suspicious manner. Further inspection found that the boxes contained various firecrackers and cigarettes without a letter of approval. Subsequently, 2 men were also arrested and brought to the Marine Police HQ in Batu Uban. 3 vehicles were also seized during the raid. The case is being investigated under Section 135, Subsection 1, Subsection D of the Customs Act 1967 and Section 8 of the Explosives Act 1957, which provides a jail term of 5 years or a fine of 10,000 ringgit or both.
Juga menggalakkan orang ramai untuk memberi maklumat kepada kita untuk kita melaksanakan operasi bagi mementeras kesalahan-kesalahan yang dilaksanakan oleh orang-orang yang ada berkepentingan.
Please do not rule out the possibility of more seizures taking place in the near future. 10 more bank accounts with a total of 7.7 million ringgit have been frozen by the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission MACC to facilitate investigations into a graft case involving a director of the Perlis Drainage and Irrigation Department, DID. Kedah MACC Director Datuk Muhammad Fauzi Muhammad said so far 27 bank accounts have been frozen with an accumulated amount totaling 11.7 million ringgit. MACC had also taken statements from 25 individuals to help in the investigations. The MACC had earlier frozen 17 accounts totaling 4 million ringgit, including 900,000 ringgit in accounts allegedly owned by the director's relatives.
Saya rasa masih lagi berjalan macam biasa dan setakat ini kita telah menahan ataupun kita telah freeze 27 akaun. 27 akaun.
Hari itu belasnya ada tambahan.
Ya lagi, ya tambah lagi. Dan ini
milik siapa?
Milik ketiga-tiga yang kita tahan OKT. Yang bernilai lebih kurang 11.7 juta ringgit.
On January 29th, MACC arrested the Perlis DID director along with 2 company owners over allegations of graft and abuse of power. The director was released on MACC bail on February 11th after 13 days in remand. The case is being investigated under Section 17, Subsection A and Section 23 of the MACC Act 2009. In another development, the MACC has received 20 reports of corruption and misconduct involving local authorities since January. According to Datuk Muhammad Fauzi, the MACC are still gathering information for the verification process and follow-up steps. Corrupted public servants who have the power to approve and implement projects related to infrastructure development will be the main priority of the MACC. A suspected burglar has been killed in a shootout with police at the KKIP industrial area in Kota Kinabalu early today. The suspect, believed to be in his 30s, was found dead with gunshot wounds to his head and chest at about 2 a.m. Sabah Deputy Police Commissioner Datuk Razarudin Hussein said prior to the incident, police on patrol near the One Borneo Hypermall area spotted the suspect on a motorcycle. Briefing reporters today, he said a 5-minute chase ensued from the One Borneo area up to KKIP some 6 kilometers away before the suspect crashed into a road divider. Datuk Razarudin said policemen heard gunshots of which they had to return fire, killing the suspect.
Kita dapati bahawa di sebelah kanan penjenayah dijumpai sepucuk pistol jenis .38 di mana di dalam chambernya ada 5 round. 3 round adalah kelonsong yang mana tembakan telah dilepaskan.
A .38 pistol was found beside the suspect at the scene, along with 3 out of 5 bullets inside the pistol were fired. Police also found tools used for break-ins in a bag. No identification documents were found on him. The case is being investigated under Section 307 of the Penal Code. 11 men between the ages of 22 to 30 were arrested by Selangor police to assist in investigation into the robbery of a jewellery shop located inside a hypermarket in Kota Damansara on February 8th. One of the men, believed to be the mastermind, was an employee of the jewellery shop. Selangor Police Chief Datuk Mazlan Mansoor said jewellery is worth around 300,000 ringgit and cash amounting to 33,420 ringgit have also been recovered. Also seized were a Smith & Wesson pistol, 4 live ammunitions and 2 vehicles.
Saya sarankan kepada semua pengusaha-pengusaha kedai ataupun kedai emas ni berhati-hati dengan pekerja sendiri. Ini akan memudaratkan syarikat-syarikat perniagaan di mana sajalah yang boleh memberi laluan untuk senang kumpulan-kumpulan untuk melakukan samun.
All 11 suspects are being remanded for 7 days until February 18th to be investigated under Section 395, 397 of the Penal Code. With the arrest, Datuk Mazlan added that they have also solved another jewellery shop robbery case conducted by the group at the same hypermarket. A senior citizen was killed and his pillion rider seriously injured when they were thrown off their motorcycle, which rammed into a car in Kampung Padang Perahu, Kodiang, Kedah late evening yesterday. Kubang Pasu OCPD Superintendent Muhammad Ismail Ibrahim said the driver of the car, Faizul Anwar Abdullah, 58, was on his way home Kepala Batas from Padang Serau when he rammed into the motorcyclists Ramlan Abu Bakar, 57, and Mansoor Saad, 73. Ramlan, who was riding his motorcycle in front of Faizul, made a sudden right turn with the intention for a U-turn. Due to the close distance between his car and the motorcycle, Faisal was unable to brake in time and rammed into the victims, who were flung on to the middle of the road. Both the victims were sent to the Jitra hospital for medical treatment. However, Mansoor died at the hospital due to severe injuries to his head, body and feet while receiving treatment. Conversely, the driver of the car sustained injuries to his head and hands. The case is being investigated under Section 41, subsection 1 of the Road Transport Act 1987. Coming up, Meaty to meet Proton dealers and vendors soon after the break. Welcome back. The government is concerned about the challenges faced by Proton Holdings Berhad's dealers and vendors. Minister of International Trade and Industry, Datuk Seri Mustafa Muhammad, said the ministry is currently gathering information and discussions will be held soon.
Perniagaan ni banyak cabaran. Ya. Kita memahami juga hasrat Proton untuk upgrade kepada 3S. Ya. Kerana 1S ini merupakan basic showroomnya lah. Jadi untuk mampu bersaing dalam industri kereta ini memanglah dari semasa ke masa harus ada penambahbaikan. Dalam mana-mana transformasi sudah pasti ada yang terkesan dengannya. Jadi kerajaan prihatin kepada isu-isu dan masalah mereka.
Datuk Seri Mustafa said this in response to a question whether a special incentive would be provided to help Proton dealers upgrade their businesses. Yesterday, Proton encouraged its dealers to upgrade their sales-only centres to integrate sales, service and spare parts to, among others, improve the dealership network and increase customer satisfaction via an improved sales and service experience. Traders are advised to adhere to the festive season price control scheme as set by the Domestic Trade, Cooperatives and Consumers Ministry, KPDNKK, by keeping the prices of controlled items under ceiling price. KPDNKK officers will be stationed at locations including public markets, farmers' markets and supermarkets. Johor Bahru will be the main location, with the monitoring being done at Pasar Awam Johor Jaya and a big hypermarket in Plentong. Monitoring will be focused on 12 types of items under the Festive Price Control Scheme 2018 in conjunction with Chinese New Year. The monitoring reports will then be given to the Ministry for further action.
Kita ni sebagai pesantren gudang, kita tidak mempunyai hak untuk mendakwa ataupun mengambil tindakan undang-undang terhadap pesalah-pesalah laku yang akan kita jalankan sebentar lagi. Tetapi kita hanya memantau dan kita akan laporkan segala dapatan kita daripada pemantauan kita pada hari ini pada pihak berkuasa iaitu pihak KPDNKK untuk tindakan selanjutnya.
In addition, the monitoring operations will include the assistance of 6 KPDNKK personnel. Mat Saleh was speaking after attending the monitoring of the festive season price control scheme for the Chinese New Year in Johor Bahru. The draft on the law to curb false news is expected to be tabled to the Cabinet after the Chinese New Year CNY. According to Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Datuk Seri Azalina Othman said several matters have been highlighted during the discussions with all stakeholders to date. Datuk Seri Azalina said among the matters raised were the definition of false news, the agency that would be responsible to evaluate false or true news, as well as on the need to evaluate whether a comment is general comment or with malicious intent.
Tak ada penentuan lagi sehingga Kabinet dah putus. Senanglah saya cakap di segi hukuman, di segi bentuk undang-undang, because by virtue of the process kita kena melalui Kabinet dululah.
Earlier, Datuk Sri Azalina chaired the third meeting of the Special Committee on the proposed law to curb false news, which was also attended by representatives from non-governmental organizations, the media, local community leaders and law agencies. The amendment of the Act to prevent fake news from being spread is vital to ensure that the people are not continuously being brainwashed with such information, lies and slander, especially during the general election. Kota Siputi Assemblyman Dato' Abu Hassan Sarif said the amendment is also to enable authorities to take a more firm action against those who create and spread fake news, as it gives a negative perception towards the government.
Patutnya akta ini telah lama dijalankan. Kita dapati fitnah hari ini menular, agak dah tak boleh nak dikawal. Maka yang patut diadakan ialah suatu akta bagi menyekat penyebar fitnah ni supaya boleh diambil tindakan bersepadanan dengan fitnah yang telah pun dilemparkan.
Dato' Abu Hassan said this to RTM after launching the Seared Sea Basic Training and the Malaysian Defence Force Defence Skills Training at the Gua Kerbau Recreational Centre in Kodiang, Kedah. That concludes this evening's News on 2. In our top story, fire at Jalan Gasing EPF building, data and member savings intact. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. I'm Renee Fong. Thanks for watching and have a pleasant evening.